Hey, what's up, Credit Cleanse family?
Hello, hello. All right, y'all know what to do. If you are already on here, go ahead, let us know that you are here. Also, take this time to share, and tag. Somebody out there might need this information just as much as you do. Let's not be no haters in these streets. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, and give it time for everybody to hop on. Yes, if you are on here, go ahead, take this time, share, tag. Somebody else out there might need this information just as much as you do. Let's not be no haters in these streets. Guys, this is something we all need.
Big facts, big facts.
We're going to make some people mad tonight. It's all right. Hopefully, the end goal is get on your stuff. So, good evening. Hey, Shauna.
Hey, Shauna, what's up, Tanisha?
Hey, Tanisha. Yes, tag. Share. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a pimp, all of them. Hater. Mm.
So, what's up, Coward Dog? How was your day?
It was good for the most part. Busy. We had coachings, had to get the car maintenance or the business vehicle maintenance.
That's fun. That's like,
Hey, they got a whole movie theater and stuff in their place. It was okay.
yeah, you bougie. What you in Beverly Hills? You got that in Killeen?
Mhm. It's like a small little movie theater part.
I'm gonna need you to step your light game up. 'Cause That's
I
just
know, right? It's just not working with me today.
that's a reading lamp. Yes. And the light is harsh. Thought I taught you better than that.
Well, you didn't. All right. So we're gonna give it a couple of more minutes.
Mhm.
Get time for everybody to get on. Mm, mm, mm. I'll share it as well. Now see what kind of groups I can get kicked out of tonight. Hey Lisa.
So I almost got kicked out of one on Monday. She's
All right.
But the person that run the group was like, hey, before you do that next time, just let me know or ask for my permission. I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, and then she backdoored and asked, like, can we do go live in her group to like do like a training class?
Oh, okay.
Probably should have told you that. Probably should have told you that.
Yeah, you probably should have, but you know. All right, so same thing as we do all the time. Make sure you are tagging, sharing this. Let everybody know, hey, everybody can use this information tonight. It's not set for just business owners and it's not set just for people that's trying to level up on their personal credit side. Right now, basically tonight, what we hit it is mindset altogether. Too many of y'all out there are really like could be winning in these streets, but y'all losing, and it's one little thing that's hurting y'all, and we're trying to correct that tonight so that y'all can be winning in these streets.
Yeah. We noticed that a lot of people are wasting money by not implementing this one little thing. This one little thing. What in the world is that?
Right, I'm
Oh,
going on there.
not just doing a block party.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
a block
okay.
party. Love face. I don't know what.
What they got going on
I
there.
don't know. It sounds freaky. We're not doing that here.
Right, get them on here. Are we doing a magic number today? Are we just giving
Uh,
them?
yeah, me. I was planning to just go in. There ain't gonna be no replay. So if you're here, then you're supposed to be here. If you're not, then
Okay.
it is what it is.
All right, well, let's get started. I am your girl Kyra,
I'm your bro King.
and we are Credit Cleanse.
Yes, we are. So some people call us financial literacy experts or credit repair experts, but we're just striving to be professionals with that personal touch. We've been featured in numerous media outlets talking about the front page of the newspaper. My your son is famous. I done made it. Kyra been on one or two as well. Been on multiple magazine articles, including Sex Appeal. We've had features on the radio, advertisements on the radio. Last year, we won one of the best small businesses in Central Texas. This year, we won the best small business in Central Texas in multiple categories. Um, Last year, we won Best in Business Services, Best Small Business of the Year, so on and so on. We got them accolades. Also, we have our own book on Amazon. Shameless plug, Kyrie.
Yes, we are authors out in these streets. Our book is called Stop Paying Their Mortgage, you start paying your own. Of course, that is a long title, so you can just type in Credit Cleanse. That's credit with a K, cleanse with a K, and that book will pull up. If home ownership is your goal, this is definitely going to be the book for you. Or if you know someone out there, this is going to teach you how to cleanse that credit, what you need to do with your student loans, how to get that all handled. It's going to tell you about some programs in your area that you may not know about, to help you with closing costs and down payment assistance. Like I said, if home ownership is the goal, this is the book for you.
Big facts, big facts. So if you know us, you know we do coaching, we do mentoring, but also we're not above the process ourselves because we get coach and mentored. Shout out to the GOAT coach. Our coach actually sits on the board for Experian as a subject matter expert. He also is a global business coach, uh, crypto guru, real estate guru, has uh, medical marijuana business. This dude just got some trucking business. He always got something going on. So again, when it comes to this particular field, when it comes to this information, like we're not good at this, we low key fire at this. And again, you can call us financial literacy experts or credit repair experts. But personally, we like to be called bridge builders because we're gonna find out where we are, where we need to be, and we're gonna bridge that gap. In most cases, that is financial. Why we haven't put that on the shirt yet?
I don't know. But if you can hear us, go ahead. Our audio is good. If it's good, please let us know. Put a one in the comments. One in the comments. So before we get started, we just want to make sure our audio is good. Y'all can hear us. And then we are going to get into this thing. Because, like I said before, this isn't just for business owners, and this isn't just for those that are trying to just fix their credit. This is for everybody, wherever you are in your life. Like right now, we are doing mindset 111. If you this is your first time, please don't let it be your last time. One thing about us, we love for you to be actively engaged. So when we say do them ones, put the ones in the chat. The more actively engaged you are, the more sauce we are going to give you so that you can be winning in these streets. Of course, if there is no engagement, you know what we do? We shut this bad boy off because we already out here winning in these streets, but we want y'all to be doing the same thing.
Big facts, big facts.
All right, I see them ones rolling.
All right, so let's jump into it. So Kai, you want to start us off?
Go ahead, Kim.
I know you're gonna do that. So we've been doing like a lot of coaching calls from business down to the personal to people trying to get homes. You know what everybody has in common? Everybody has a goal, but that doesn't mean that everybody's necessarily making a plan. Me and Kyra have definitely suffered from this as well. Like we have a goal in mind, but we didn't put a plan. So let's say that your goal is to make six figures in your company. That's a nice goal, but how do you plan to get there? Like one, how do you plan to get there? Two, what's needed in order to make it happen? Three, where do you begin? So we like that's the whole basis of this tonight, and hopefully by the end of it, you're gonna have a solid goal, and we're gonna create a plan to get you there.
Right. And if you're not a business owner, like I said, this doesn't just relate to the business owner. Maybe you are just trying to be a homeowner. Maybe every year you're saying, hey, I want to be in the 700 credit club or whatever it is, or I want to be able to accomplish this or that. All right, we set them goals like Keem said, but what actionable plan are you doing to make that happen so that that goal can now turn into reality?
Yes. So we want to start first with let's say our homeowners, the people that said, I want to get a home. I'm going to get a home this year. I'm going to get a home this year. So your goal is to get a home, but what's your plan to do so? Have you reached out to any mortgage companies? Have you talked to a realtor to see what area that would best suit you and your family? No. Have you looked and see what the required documents are in order to get there? Like these are the things that you need to do. You can't just be on your computer looking at houses on Zillow. That's not gonna get it, baby. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna get it. So one thing that we like to do for our Credit Cleanse family members is we're going to give you a checklist. We're going to give you like a pretty much an actionable plan for you to go step by step. Like, do this first, do this second, go here, ask these questions because it's you don't want to just go to anybody or you don't want to just accept the first thing that's available. You need to know certain information so you can navigate these waters.
Right. And it's never a one size fits all. Okay. So just because you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody and it worked for them with this company, don't mean that that company is going to be fit for you. Do you know what type of loan? Like, well, I'm speaking to the home, those that are wanting to get into a home. Do you know what type of loan you are actually going after?
Mm. VA, FHA, conventional, USDA. Do you know what you qualify for? Do you know what the qualifying scores are? Do you know how much you would have to pay for a down payment on average? Yeah, we need to know these things. Like we have to know these things.
Have you set aside funds because you got to get an inspection on the house, appraisal? Is
Mm.
what they're selling it for, is it really worth that? Like, it's other fees associated with it. People think that, oh, just because I have a 9 to 5 and I've been here 2 years and also my credit score is here, I'm going to be good to go. That is not always the case. You still have to save. And I'm going to say this: if you feel like you cannot invest into yourself to get yourself to where you need to be, home ownership is already not for you right now.
So let me talk about our struggle. So we'll have someone come to us and they say, well, hey, I want to get into a home, but I'm not credit worthy. Can you help me? We'll look at their profile and it's like, okay, based on what's showing, yeah, we can help you. It's going to be this amount. So let's say that I quote you, it's 249 to start, right? And you tell me that's too much. I'm sorry, but you cannot afford a house. You cannot afford a house. Now I understand that everybody's on a budget, but if you have a home and you're not, so like not everybody's a VA, so that means that you have taxes. Do you know that your monthly mortgage payment can change based on the taxes that's going to be associated with your property? So at the beginning of the year, you was paying $1,000 and you put that in your budget. But what if it goes up to $1,250 per month? But that never happens right now. It never happened, King. You're making that up. That doesn't happen to people. Yes, it does. Or you can move into your home, right? And let's say that you're there for like 4 or 5 months, and now a pipe bursts in your wall. That's not something that you had inside of your budget, and that actually happened to some of our people. But because they were on point Not only did they have like cash reserves, but they had good credit before they went to that situation, so they was able to maneuver those waters. But you got to, again, like Kyra said, this is all about mindset. And if you go in with the mindset of my bills are going to be the same every month, or this is too much, $300 is too much, $400 is too much, then you're not at a point where you can afford a home. You're just not.
Right, right. All right. So if y'all are still with us, please put a two in the comments. Two, two, two. If you are still with us, put a two in the comments. And guys, for those of you that just got on, please take this time, share, 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 tag, tag, tag. Somebody else out there might need this information just as much as you do. We're definitely hitting mindset tonight. I need to see everybody on here winning, winning all 2022. We've had people come to us that inquired about our services 2 years ago. And guys, they still in the same place because they just started. Imagine where you could have possibly been in 2 years. So now we are putting that fire up underneath you, not only when it comes to your credit and stuff like that, but just life in general. Nobody's promised tomorrow. So come on. You got goals. You said you want to make it happen. Let's go.
That part. So I know we're going to talk about like our business owners as well, but was there anything in particular you wanted to bring up, Kyle?
Just on the personal side, guys, what we've been saying since the beginning, a lot of y'all have this big goal in mind. I want you to actually put like a plan together when it comes to, okay, like King spoke on the home ownership, but what about for the people that's like, nah, I just want my credit to be great. All right, what are you using that credit for? Do you realize the power behind that credit, or you just heard that 700 is where you need to be, or the 800 club is where you need to be? If you aren't going to be having an actionable plan of what you about to do with that 700, with that 800, you kind of just still at the same point. What's the difference of having a 700 and 800 and doing nothing with it versus having walking around with the 500?
Mm.
What's your plan behind that? Oh, once I get to the 700 club, I'm going to be able to pull this amount out the bank. And the reason I'm doing that is because I see that there's a property I want that I might can possibly get, fix it up a little bit, flip it, and now I'm going to profit even more. Now I can pay the bank back their money, and I'm also going to have a profit. That should be like one of your goals. That's an actionable plan. Now, if you say, let's say you profited 20,000, still 20,000 out of that, the money that you made, none of that was yours to begin with. So that's all profit. That's all. What? That should be the goal, not just to be, oh, I just want to have a 700 so I can flex on these people. Okay. Well, you going to do that. Why? It's over here doing something else.
Oh, and another thing, don't be like me and Kyra, and you actually have a good credit score, and then you don't know what to do with it. So, man, what it really boils down to is you have to know the rules when it comes to credit. For instance, so Kyra had really good credit. She was going through some stuff, and she was like, you know what? Were you like in between jobs or something like that, and you decided to cut up your credit cards?
Yes, I was pregnant with twins at that time, and I was just like, I was in and out the hospital, so therefore I was just like, I don't want to make myself get into debt by using my credit card, so let me just cut these bad boys out, cut them up. And of course that was inactivity for like 6 months, so in course they closed out. But guess what it did to my score? I went from the 730s, 740s to down to 490.
Yeah. And you can't do that. You can't close your credit cards, and you can't have that inactivity for an extended amount of time, or they will cancel it. Because at the end of the day, these people running a business. They're running a business, and they make money off your interest. So you have to use it. She didn't understand the rules at the time, and she lost out. Went from the 700s, dropped down to like fours or fives, whatever whatever you had said, it was fours, right?
490s. I
So
remember.
so and my story is I had absolutely no knowledge about credit. I learned some. I learned how to actually get the score up and how to get credit cards. Cool. I'm thinking, okay, that's what's up. but I still didn't know the rules. I didn't know about the 30% rule. I didn't know that, yo, this is a credit card, not a debit card. So I was actually using my credit card like it was a debit card. Before you know it, like now I'm in debt up to my neck. Don't be a victim of that. So if you fail to plan, then you're excuse me. If you fail to make a plan, then you're planning to fail. Like simple and plain.
Mm. Miss Lakeisha, I learned about inactivity with KK, paid off my credit card, didn't use them, then the accounts were closed. Yes, and that can really, and what I realized, let me tell y'all what I should have done. So that can help those of you that might be in a same situation or something similar. What I should have done is still keep them cards or whatever. My expenses that I had, because I had my savings built up. So what I should have been doing is using those credit cards to pay the bills that I had to pay anyway, the mortgage and all that. And I should have been then taking the cash that was in my savings to pay those credit cards off. What I could have been doing at that time, guess what? I'm utilizing that credit card. So now they're like, okay, let me give her some more. Let me do a credit limit increase. So I could have still been building up my credit. And when I got out of it, I probably would have had 100K in credit or something like that, because I did have high limits already. But because I didn't know, I just cut it up and didn't use it at all and end up hurting myself even more, because now dropping down to a 490, guys, what can you go get with a 490? And at that time, I was having car troubles. So getting another car, instead of them seeing my great credit that I had like once, you know what I'm saying, before I cut them cars up, now they're seeing just a reflection of my current status. So now that's a high interest rate. Now my insurance goes up, the car insurance goes up. All that could have been avoided.
So, and you know what? And I wish I can just go back and be a little with this mindset, with this information, go back and be a little birdie on her shoulder. One, go ahead and get another car, right? Even if you don't have, so even during that point, it's like, okay, like I'm not working right now. You can still get a vehicle at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now if you have a credit card that's like $5,000, why not take that credit card? Mind you, she says she has money in her savings, right? Swipe your credit card and make like 6 months worth of payments. Pay your car off for 6 months, and now take that money in your savings and pay off your credit card every month. So now what you did was just create space for yourself. And so now while you weather the storm that you're calling life right now, at some point you'll be able to get back on, you know what I'm saying, get back on track. But nobody teaches this type of stuff. And if anybody tells you that's bad advice, like to me, they're dumb, because that's what it's for. Your credit is a tool. Sometimes life happens. Like life can be a shit show sometimes. Okay, I know we're trying to be monetized, but it's a video. Like your life happens sometimes, and you may need to maneuver like that. You need to make one of those moves. Again, this goes back to knowing the rules. We've had somebody who was about to quit our program, and luckily we did a coaching call first. It's like, oh yeah, I need to cancel. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying, that's fine. So what's going on? Oh, I had to use my credit card, so I feel like I'm failing now. I want to get out. So, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, like, no. If you're going through a situation, you feel like, well, I have to prioritize. I don't know where my next meal's coming from. Okay, cool. But if you have to use your credit cards while you find another job or while you find another house or whatever, like, yo, that's absolutely fine. You, instead of running away, you need to be running to us, and that's some of y'all's problem. You feel like, okay, I want to come to Credit Cleanse to fix my credit, but you still have the mentality that you want to do everything by yourself. You want to have all the answers. Like, yo, that's what we're here for. That's what you have educators for. That's what you have coaches and mentors for. Even to some of y'all, we may be the go-to people. We may be the big dogs. We still have those things when we run to our coach. Just today, we just sent him a message like, hey, coach, what we doing in a situation like this? That's what you're paying for. Use us, use us, use us, use us. Now, don't use us, but I'm just saying you have that accessibility to us. So reach out when you're going through it. When we say that you're part of the Credit Cleanse family. So when you're down and out, when you don't have all the answers, that's when you lean on your family. And that's what we're here for.
Right. And we want to see y'all winning. I don't know about any other company, but for credit cleanse, we don't want to just cleanse your credit and send you on your way. Guys, we have people here that they cleanse their credit, right? All they wanted to do was get in the home. Now they got a business. Now they got other sources of income coming in, streams of income coming in, because we are all about that generational wealth that everybody talks about. But we are actually, let's do it. You talk it, let's do it. So yes, we're going to cleanse your credit. At the same time, we're going to help you build it. We're going to help you leverage it. And we also going to teach you what you can do with that. If you know that you want to get into real estate, okay, why haven't you cleansed your credit? Why haven't you, um, are you leveraging it out? So that you can hop into real estate easily and it not be just based off of what funds you already have and you going in the hole based off just the money that you bring in. How many people do that? It's a lot. If you don't know anything about credit, here's one tip: utilization. That is 30% of your overall credit score. That is the second biggest thing when it comes to the FICO scoring model. And that is 90% of users are using lenders using today. Okay. Not the Credit Karma, because that's Vantage, but your actual FICO, right? That's a big category. It wants you just tip over to 31%. Guess what it does? Instead of that score boosting and going up, guess what? It's going down. So you have to learn the rules. A lot of people like, well, they offered me a credit limit increase, but I didn't take it. Why?
Yeah. What?
Why? You don't have to, it's not telling you use it, but now that helps you. So if you do have a life situation that happens, and let's say they gave you a $10,000 increase, and before you only had 5,000, let's say 1 month, like you've been in the hole, so you had to use 3,000 or something. That would be better off if they gave you that 10,000 credit limit increase, because you would probably still be up underneath the 30% versus if you just had a $5,000 limit and you end up using 3,000. Look at you. Look at what it did to your score. It's tanking.
Yeah, big facts. Um, Again, you don't know what you don't know. You can't expect to understand how to get out of every situation or how to manage every situation if one, you haven't been through it before. Two, you don't know anybody that's been through it. It happens all the time. Everybody wants to talk to us. Hmm?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Everybody wants to come and talk to us after everything happened. It's like, oh yeah, man, you know what? I fell off. This was going on. That was going on. It's like, well, why you didn't reach out? I didn't know that I could. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Appreciate the sensei. That's my first mentor, aka Mr. Kenneth, messing with me in the comments. But like some of you never ask. Like a closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't reach out and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" or "Do you know somebody that can help me with this?" Nobody's. That's not how the world works. Ain't nobody just out here just giving away great things all the time. Like it's not. It's nobody's gonna bring it to you. Like you have to go get that. We have to get out of that mindset thinking that you're gonna sit your behind at home and be on Facebook and hope somebody gonna be like, "Hey, I have the answers that you're seeking for." Like, nah, that's some fairy tale stuff. And I'm letting you know, y'all have credit cleanse, you have King, you have Kyra. Y'all, and if you're part of the credit cleanse family, you got Kenneth. You know what I'm saying? He knows things that you don't. And that we can like help you with this stuff.
Right.
All I'm saying is, hey, open your mouth and ask. Whatever it is, open your mouth and ask. Worst thing we can say is no. No. Worst case scenario. No.
Right. Definitely, as y'all have questions, please put them in the chat. Like I said, I need everybody to be winning in these streets.
You want to answer questions before we go into the business thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Keep the conversation going.
This one.
Should we max out our credit card and pay it off within the same month? So I don't want to just say, yeah, you should do that. That is a certain strategy. If
Right.
if you already know, if you understand the rules, if you know when your statement end date is and your due date is, uh, and you know you're trying to get a credit limit increase, yes. Am I about to tell somebody that's brand new that brand new? No, I'm not going to tell
No.
you that because you don't even understand why. It's like, okay, I'm gonna max out my card. You might max it out at the wrong time and not pay it back. You know what I'm saying? In time, and now it's tank your score, and you don't know why. Because you trying to play a game, you trying to play basketball, but you don't know the rules yet. You don't know the
Right.
dude in the striped shirt is the person that you're supposed to listen to.
Uh, how much money would you all consider a good amount to save for a house down payment? It's not a real good answer to, like, that's something we couldn't answer for you. We
Mm-mm.
don't know how much of a home you are looking for. That's one thing. Uh, really, that's the biggest thing. Go ahead, Keith.
Can I get some advice? So in that situation, this is what I would do. I would find 3 reputable companies in my area that deal in mortgages, right? And I would ask each one of them, um, find out, like Kyra said, if you don't know how much the house you're looking to spend, or you don't know what your budget is for a home, it's like, okay, I want to get a $250,000 house. How much does my down payment need to be? With, you know what I'm saying? How much money do I need to save in this particular market? Ask those 3 people, and that number should be around the same. It should be somebody gonna say, hey, 5%. You need 5% of whatever the house is, or you need
3.5.
2.5%. You're
Yeah.
3.5. But that's the person that you need to ask.
Right, because it also, with the house down payment, it depends on what type of loan that you are going after. If you're a VA and you're 100%, okay, you don't have a down payment. But if you are going for FHA, 3.5. If you're doing conventional, it's like 10%. It's some, you know what I'm saying? So it depends on the type of loan as well. My good, like Keem said, is that's great advice altogether. Reach out to the companies that you feel, oh, I want to use them, and ask them these type of questions. On average, what does it range around? And then they should also be telling you, hey, if your score is around here, we're noticing that it's here. If your credit score is around this part, then we're seeing that they're having to pay this amount.
Another thing, if you know, one thing that you need to know when it comes to like home buying, understand what kind of loan that you need. If you're VA, you need to go to somebody that specializes in VA, because one thing I love about a line mortgage, and it's not that like, oh well, y'all work with them or y'all partner with them, that's why you're saying that. Like, no, I love them because of what I see that they do, like the level of excellence. They teach veterans so much about homes that other people just don't know. When you're not treated like a regular person trying to get a home if you have a VA,
A
especially if you have,
number.
yeah, like, and if you're 100% veteran, like you have so many benefits that's awarded to you. And somebody that just mostly works with conventional or FHA, they're going to try to lump you in with them, and it's nah. You have your own, like your own separate category. So find people that specialize in. I ain't gonna say just specialize in one thing, but FHA and conventional is a whole nother ball game from VA. So if you VA, go to a VA lender. They're going to be able to help you more.
And just because you hear veteran in the name, don't always mean that it's a great place to go.
Right. They
So
should.
please do your due diligence. Like, find a company like us. We don't tell y'all to come to Credit Cleanse, come to Credit Cleanse, come to Credit Cleanse. But we do spend time on here to educate y'all and let y'all know the options out there to you when it comes to credit or anything like that. So it's the same thing. Find a company that's willing to educate you, not just try to tell you, no, you need to come with us. Let me pull your credit and all this other stuff. And then once they pull your credit and see that you're not there, now you don't hear from them anymore. No, find somebody that's willing to talk to you before you even do that process.
That's a good indication that you're with somebody good. I don't care if it's credit repair. I don't care if it's home buying. I don't care if you're trying to learn how to make popsicles. If you have somebody that sells those products or offers those services, but they're educating you first, like that's a good place to be. And that's what made us fall in love with a line mortgage. Because I literally, respectfully, I don't know any other mortgage companies that's spending that much time educating people without asking for anything in return. They're not asking you to pay any money to come to the seminars. You just got to register and show up.
Right. All right. You want to hit this question, or we want to save this to the end? Miss, I think we should save it to the end just so we can.
No, because we got to go to the business after that.
Okay. Can you please explain utilization, 30% of what, monthly gross, net, etc.?
Okay, so utilization is talking about your credit cards. Now, when you have a credit card, if your credit limit is $1,000, that means that you can't use any more than, don't have any more than 30% reporting to the credit bureaus before it tanks your score. So if your credit limit is $1,000, don't let any more than 300 report to the credit bureaus every month, or it's going to tank your score.
Right. And you have to understand there's a due date and a statement ending date. Know
So
the
what's the difference?
difference. The due date, that's when your bill is due before you incur any type of late fees or anything like that. Your statement ending date, that's when they actually report to the bureaus, or closing date. So that's like if you look at your statement and it shows March 30, no, March 20th till April 19th. Well, the 19th, that end April 19th of every month, that's when it's actually reporting to the bureaus, which is majority of the time completely different from what your due date is.
Your due date may be like the 15th, and the statement end date is the 19th. So they're going to report whatever balance that you have on your credit card on the 19th to the bureaus. We do a lot of coaching calls, and I'll say, hey, your credit card's maxed out, but I just paid it off. It's like, oh, when did you pay it off? I paid it off on the 15th, but did you use it again? Well, yeah, after I paid it off, man, I swiped it again. I was
The
like,
next
okay, well,
day or the
yeah,
next, yeah.
that's why, because you didn't give it an opportunity to report to the bureaus before you use it again. So now we have people that are savvy with this, especially if you're using. And I wish we would have known this when we first started. Some people are in that space where they use their personal credit to fund their business. Now, if you know that you pretty much like max out your credit card, or you're close to maxing it out every month because you're using it to operate your business, you at least need to know these rules. So if I know my payment date is on the 15th and they're going to report it on the 19th, well, from the 15th to the 19th, I'm not going to use it. I'll start using it again on the 20th. So even if you're maxing it out, to operate your business, which we don't advise, you definitely should get business credit. But if you are doing that, you at least know the rules and it reports the right way. But again, that's a bit more advanced, and that's not something that you should just be, you know what I'm saying, don't get in the habit of doing that. But again, it's a tool. So if you need to use your credit card, then it is what it is. Just make sure that you're using it the right way.
Right. I'm going to say find somebody that you feel is really teaching or educating you on it and stick with that person. A lot of times y'all are, and we did it in the beginning as well. You find resources from here, you take some from over there, and before you know it, you so confused that you just gave up and now you back at square one. Find somebody that is reputable to you and stay with the course, stick with them. Then once you have learned all that they can teach you, okay, now add somebody else to the mix that's adding a little bit more knowledge or giving a little bit more education, that's leveling you up a little bit more.
Can I give a quick example? And I hope it goes well. So when it comes to, let's use this like starting a business, for instance. So if you're going to start a brand new business, it's kind of like moving to a new city, right? So you move into this new city, you got into your house, and you ask neighbor A, hey, how do I get to Walmart? And they tell you, hey, you want to go here, go down this road, go there, and that's how you get to Walmart. Like, okay, cool. And then you go to neighbor B, and they tell you a different route. It's like, no, you go here, you go there. Then you ask neighbor C, and they tell you a whole different route. Now we all know, even from where you live, probably like at least 2 or 3 routes to get to your favorite store. But if you're collecting all of that information at once, now you dazed and confused, and you have no sense of direction. Pick that one person and learn that route first. And then you figure out if this works well for you or not. It's like, nah, I've tried this multiple times. I don't like it because it's a pothole over there. I'm not going to use that. Now I'm going to figure out another route. We run into that in business a lot. You'll get a coach, or you'll be listening to so many people. It's so much noise. You can't even decipher what works well or not. And what's crazy is they all of those different routes to get you to the store, but you can't take both routes at the same time. It doesn't work. And we've done that and failed miserably. Cancel out the noise, pick one thing and stick to it.
Yes,
Figure out if that
yes.
works for you or not, and then go to the next thing. Uh, so we're actually looking to bring somebody on to talk about like the personal and the business taxes. But we want to bring somebody that's going to be reputable, somebody that knows their stuff.
So does the balance need to be paid by the statement end date? Balance, if you're trying to avoid interest, you need to pay it by the due date.
Facts. Pay it by the due date. And whatever you want to report to the credit bureaus needs to be paid by the statement end date.
All right, so I want to pause on the questions real quick, guys. Keep on putting your questions in there, but I definitely want to make sure that we get through our topic and then get to these questions, because we might actually answer some of those questions while we're going over something. So now to hop in on the business side, guys. So basically, let me back up really quick. So on the personal side, whatever your plan is, whether it is getting into a home, or you're wanting to get into a 700 or 800 credit club, or just you want to level up something in life or whatever, you want to have a new car, more reliable car, you want to get a promotion, whatever it is, make sure you have an actionable plan. Put that in place. Work backwards all the time. Like we were saying at the beginning, you want to, like, okay, I want to be a homeowner. That's it. Then next year comes around, I want to be a homeowner. I'm gonna get a house this year. But what are you actually doing to make it happen? Or I want to get a promotion. Yep, I'm tired of being just the charge nurse. I want to be a ADON. Guys, I was a nurse, so ADON, assistant director of nursing. But it's like, what are you doing to make that happen?
Big
So put something together, work backwards. If you know it takes this step, this step, this step to make it happen, all right, what are you doing to lead up to that? You want to be a homeowner a day, but you're still sitting there and you got a 400 credit score. That ain't gonna get you into a home unless you're paying for it just all together. So it's like, and I'm not coming for anybody. I'm just saying I need everybody to be in reality here.
I'm coming for you. If it hit you in your chest, it was intended to. It was intended to. I ain't sneak this.
So now for our business owners out here in these streets, our entrepreneurs, our hustlers, whatever you want to be called around here, definitely finna hit y'all where it hurts. Okay.
So we want to go to business credit route, or we want to start in the company route?
No, we're gonna start with the company, I think, and work into the business credit.
Okay. So you're saying that you want to start a company, right? What's your goal? What's your goal? Okay, I want to start a company, and what does that look like? Do you need to have employees? Do you know how much revenue that you want to make? You can say, oh, I want to start a cab company. All right, bet. Well, how much money you want to make? I don't know, man. I just want to make some money. So if you don't have a goal, then how hard do you know how to work? If you don't have a goal, then how do you know what you need in order to get to the goal? Got to have that goal. So even if you have that goal, so, okay, well, I want to start a cab company and I want to make $100,000 in my first year. It's like, okay, so on average, how many vehicles do you need? How much, if you have a vehicle and you work, what kind of vehicles do you need? On average, how much do taxis run in one day? Well, like what's the average amount the taxi makes? So once you figure out these numbers, now you can reverse. Well, if they make 300 per day, how long would it take, or how many days will it take for that one particular cab to get to 100,000? 300 times 365. If you're going to run 365 days, it's like, oh, they ain't gonna get me there. So I need X amount of cabs to get me to there. Now we're working there. Like now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. So like now that's how you reverse engineer your plan. You want to add anything into that?
Um, no, I think you said it really well.
I kind of want to give them a cheat code, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna save that for the end.
Okay.
So now, this is very important when it comes to your plan. Break your plan down into small pieces. Break it down into small pieces, because if you put your goal together and then you write out what the plan is, it can look huge. It can look like a mountain. But if you knock it down a pebble at a time, or if you break your plan down into 7 steps, okay, step 1 is to do this. And that step 1 may be a lot of work. It might take you 1 month, up to 3 months to knock out step 1. But now when you knock out these little mini goals, it gives you confidence. It feels that exciting, like, okay, I'm getting this done. I'm not looking at the whole thing. I'm just looking at my step 1. Once you knock out that, then focus on the next task, and that's how you build. Trust me, we went through that. we honestly could have, where we are now in our business, we could have probably been at this point in our first like 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what we know now, but we took the long way. Remember what I said about routes? We took the long route. And it's okay, because now we get to teach people based on our experience.
Right, right. I want to say also, so when it comes to quit allowing people to come into your life or that are already there and tell you that it can't be done. Whatever vision is put into you, that it was meant for you, okay? It wasn't meant for them. Whatever goal it is that you set, that's meant for you. That's not meant for them. Okay. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to be a 6-figure company, or I'm going to hit 7 figures. All right. Don't let nobody stray you away from that. So you said 7 figures, right? So let's do what Keem said. Let's break it down. How are we going to accomplish 7 figures by December 31st?
Thanks.
What needs to be done?
What does it take?
Yeah. And like he said, if you know you can't do it by yourself, all right, what do you need to put in place so you can make this amount? So you're going to be comfortable with paying for employees so that you can hit even another level, so that you can get to them 7 figures. If somebody ain't never been there, if somebody is okay with making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, what they gonna tell you? Girl, you being foolish. Come on now. You should be okay with just bringing in an extra 500 or something like that. Get away from that person. You already got in your head that it's 7 figures. Don't let nobody take you from that, period.
If you're from Texas, I know you probably listened to Zero at least once if you've been in the streets. And I love when he said association brings about assimilation. You know what that means. And I'm like, what did you say? Association brings about assimilation, or like attract likes, or birds of a feather flock together. So the whole point is, whatever it is that you're trying to do, get around people that's already doing it. That's the game. So if my goal is to be a multimillionaire, I can't accept money advice or financial advice from my family. Why? Because they've never been multimillionaires. How can you give me advice on something that you've never did before? I love Tyra just sent me this video, and ET was saying in it how his mom was trying to tell him about being a millionaire. He said, Mom, like, no disrespect, I will take your values, but I won't take your financial habits, because you've never been to where I'm trying to go to. So when you're talking to your friends and your family members, and even though they mean well, they're just scared for you. That's all that is. It's like, hey, I don't want you to fail, or hey, maybe you shouldn't do so much. An extra 500 every paycheck is good. But if you go to one of these millionaire groups, they're like, oh man, that's small change. You talking about extra? You wanted to be a millionaire? Like, nah, you need to focus on 10 million. You're like, well, why I just wanted $1 million. Like, yeah, but you're probably gonna fail because whenever you set a goal, you usually hit right under that. So if you build a business plan for $10 million and you fail, you at least gonna get $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You might hit 5. Like somebody, so your family members can't tell you nothing like that. They don't even think like that. Like that's a whole nother level of plan. That's a whole nother level of goal setting. Set goals that are so crazy that even if you fail, you succeed. Case in point, I tried to teach my daughter that this weekend. I took them to spare time out in Temple, right? And she played like 4 or 5 games in a row. She's playing like a little basketball game. The top score was 26 or 29. She kept trying to hit it. She's like, I'm trying to beat that high score. I'm trying to beat that high score. Couldn't do it. Then I came over there and I said, so what's your score? What you shooting for? She said, I'm trying to get to 29. I said, nah, let's shoot for 35. She didn't get 35. She got like 33, 34. And she started crying. I said, why are you crying, baby? She said, because I didn't get 35. I said, but what was your goal? Well, I wanted to get 29. I said, so what did you get? And she's like, I got 33. I said, so you succeeded. And she was like, but I still didn't get to 35. Baby, it doesn't matter. We superseded your expectations. I brought a whole nother level. Now, granted, I'm talking to a 10-year-old. So she ain't really catching that yet, but I'm still going to give it to her early so she can, you know what I'm saying? So she have it when it matters. Just because you failed my expectations, you still superseded yours. You got the high score. What are we talking about? Why are you crying? I gave her a hug and told her she good. That's all right, baby. You still winning. But you know what I'm saying? The same principle applies.
Facts. And if you feel like you don't know any millionaires, multimillionaires, or billionaires, guys, they're really out there. But they're gonna be in places that you don't normally be.
Yeah.
Can
I say something real quick? That goes back to our other example. You're not gonna be on Facebook and a millionaire pop out like, hey, King, you trying to be rich? It's not gonna happen. My bad.
No, facts. Things didn't start happening to us until we put ourselves in those. And now, which is crazy, when we started off, guys, we were like, dang, I'm ready to hit them numbers. I'm ready to be there. We got there. And now some of those people are learning from us.
Facts.
But it's like, since you are constantly growing, yes, it's fine. So now we're pouring into them. But guess what? We now have to find a group where we're trying to be. Multi-million, billion, whatever. Like now we have to find another group so that they can still pour into us while we're pouring down to the people that were the table we were at.
So, and I want to get into that, but we got one more thing we want to talk about. We want to talk about people with the business credit, right? So if you know that you want, it's not enough to say, hey, I want to get business credit. It's not even enough just to pay for it. You got to have an actionable plan every single week. If me and Kyra give you homework, which we are, when I give you that homework, you have to knock that out. You have to hold yourself accountable to finish that before the next coaching call. Because why? You may not understand it, but like, hey, okay, that was your step 1. We broke it down already. Okay, that's a step 1. This is the step 2. Before you know it, you're like, man, I got, you know what I'm saying? I got this business credit. We got people that pay good money, don't show up for the calls. You don't book the calls. Like, hey, well, nobody sent me the link. No, like I gave you the initial link and I told you to set the calls. Okay, hey, go ahead and reschedule your next call. We pay 10 to 20 times as much for our coaching. Our coach won't even send us a new link. It's like, no, didn't I send it to you last year? Well, go find it in your email.
Real talk.
Imagine paying somebody the amount, throw out a car. You know what I'm saying? The amount of money that you can go and pay a car off completely at a lot, a brand new car, right? Imagine paying somebody that much money and they tell you, no, I'm not going to record these calls and send it to you. Nope, I'm not going to be resending you this link every week. Go find it in your email. That's a whole nother level. Some of y'all will be pissed. It's like, well, I want my money back. I'm going to leave a bad Yelp review. But I'm grateful that our coach did us like that, because now we understand the expectations. It's like, yo, just because you paid more money doesn't mean that anything's gonna be handed to you. Like, nah, these are big leagues. What's crazy is we went through like 3 tiers with our coach. He did more for us when we paid him less. Like the low tier, he held our hand. We had coaching calls every week, and he was holding our hands and walking us through the process. But as we went up, it's like, bro, we just paid you more, but you're doing less. And you might walk away for 2 weeks like, man, he ain't even giving us no real information. But it's like, nah, I did. You just haven't reached up to that level where you can understand it. Now 3 months later, like, oh, that's what he meant. Oh, okay. Wow. It's like, yo, it's the big dog arena. I'm not going to bring it to you. You have to come up to it. At some point, at some point, it's not going to come to you anymore. Like, you have to go to it. Nobody
Mm.
just
And I'm
nobody
glad
just
you. I wanted to say real quick. Sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to say, like, that's the same thing with life. People feel like just because credit isn't something that's taught in school, or financial literacy, period, is taught in school, like, oh, that's what they want to complain about and say, well, it ain't taught in school. Well, it ain't taught in school. Okay. So what are you doing to change that narrative for you and your family? You just accepting that and going on, or are you like, okay, I need to learn this, let me know how to fix this so I can change the story when it comes to my family and creating generational wealth? I'm gonna stop the curse. Generational curse is gonna stop with me. You know what I'm saying? Now my kids and their kids, they gonna know where they need to be. Just because it wasn't taught to me don't mean that it shouldn't be taught to them. So it's like, when do we stop that? Or are you waiting for this to pop up as a subject in school? We'll continue to wait, because guys, if you didn't realize, this, and I call credit a game, is a game that they don't want you to know about. That is why they're constantly changing the rules now, because they seeing us, that was the middle class before, leveling up. So let me change this a little bit to get a little bit more tricky.
Mhm.
All right. They're not gonna give it to you. Who is opening up their door and saying, hey, here's $1 million? Nobody.
Ain't nobody about to just give you that. No.
You gotta put some work.
And that brings me to that other point. Y'all, this is the shortcut. This is the shortcut. If you want to be successful, I don't care what it is. One, find somebody that's doing it, but you definitely want to find somebody that's doing it and put yourself around them. But even above that, put your money behind it. That's your best accountability partner. And I'm talking about, like, when you put so much on there that you like it scares you, or it like, nah, bro, I got to get somebody this. And when I just paid for a coaching that costs more than my rent, or I just paid for a coaching that costs more than a year's worth of daycare, like, you're gonna take that serious. We've literally given, like, stuff that we might charge 3-4 thousand for. We gave it away for free. And the people that get it for free, they don't appreciate it because it doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't make you uncomfortable. But if you got to pay $4,000 now, that's a head scratcher. You might have to talk yourself into punching the numbers in on the invoice. You're like, man, I have $10,000, but to give away 40% of it right now, I got to, oof. If you don't have that type of feeling, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say that you can't be successful, but if it doesn't make you uncomfortable to do that, I don't see you taking it serious enough to where you actually go out and get that. One,
Right.
our biggest, I think one of our biggest jumps in our business was so hard, and actually it was Kyra, because I'm the type of person I be focused here and there. Kyra, she be keeping her ear to the streets, and she was like, "Hey, Keem, they got this seminar halfway across the country, and it's dope." I'm like, "Oh, that's what's up." So she's like, "Yeah, I really want to go." I'm like, "So like, do it." I ain't even asked how much it is. Do it. She's like, "Man, it's like $1,300." And I'm like, "Yo, okay, we'll do it." And even though at that time that was a scary amount, and at the time I think she had just got like a credit card that's $25,000. That's a business expense. Go ahead. So look, ultimately we talked about it. Not only did she go, we went. So, and it wasn't any breaks. It was like $1,300 to $1,500 per ticket. So so that's $3,000 there. We had to pay for our own hotel. We had to pay for our own flight, and then we still ended up getting into programs and coaching and all of this. But if Kyra was talking to the wrong person, let's say she wouldn't talk to her sister about it, respectfully. Let's say she talked to one of her family members or one of her friends, they would have like, girl, that's too much money. You don't need to do that. What if it's a scam? You'll find some kind of way to talk yourself out of it. Me, I'm like, yo, do it. At the end of the day, at least you can say that you win. You know what I'm saying? And you might win. Bro, that was like one of the best decisions that we made when it comes to our business.
True.
Because when we went there, we were babies. We were babies in the industry. We have people that spend more money in a month than most people make in a year. That's like, man, my expenses is $300,000 a year. What? It's like, yeah, that's how much I made, and my account was negative $300,000. I'm sweating for you. You know how much anxiety. Think of if your account. Some of y'all, yeah, let's keep it real. Your account might be negative $300, $400, $500 right now, and that's bothering you. Imagine if your account was $300,000 in the negatives. I didn't know banks can do that. But it's people that operate on that level but also you got to look at it. They make like $3 million a year. At that time, it's like, yeah, no, I make $3 million a year. It's crazy. So we babies in there. We brand new, like, man, we feel so small, right? And it's a certain level of insecurity. it's a certain level of insecurity being in those environments. As soon as we came back, like when I said we took off, it wasn't a company around us that can just keep up with us. Now you're trying to keep up with us, but I'm looking at the big dogs. I'm like, man, they flying high. Every time we go around there, we go to another seminar, take another trip, we level up. Reason why we do better than the people around us, because we go around people that's doing better than us.
Right.
I do better than them because I'm around them and they're doing better than me. That's the secret to it. That's the secret to it. So if you want
competition.
if you want to do 6 figures in your business, find somebody that's doing 7 figures in their business and have them coach you. Put your money on the line. And you can be around somebody. Everybody was talking about take it. Like, would you rather have 500,000 or go to lunch, go to dinner with Jay-Z? I'd rather take the money. Because just because I'm around him and he may give me the $1 billion blueprint doesn't mean that I'm gonna act on it. Why? Because it didn't cost me nothing. It didn't make me uncomfortable enough to move.
But now if I can take that money and like maybe invest it and sit with him so he can give me a blue, it's gonna mean a whole lot more. Cause first you didn't use it, you like, okay, I gotta make this back. Like what I need to do. So it's gonna put some fire up underneath you. But if it's just handed to you, and we're speaking from experience, guys, y'all don't know, y'all are on here for the most part. Like y'all see that we do giveaways all the time, whether it be cash, whether it be trips, whether it be coming into our services free, whatever it is. Guess what? We have found out that the ones that get it for free, they don't value it. The people that came into the program for free, guess what? They'll wait a year later and then be like, all right, I'm ready to get serious. No, there's a time frame on that fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been sitting around doing nothing this whole time. You've been getting more collections added and stuff like that. But now, just because you realize your lease is up next month, now you're ready for us to do everything that we possibly can do to get you into that home. It don't work like that. Also with vacation. Guys, we paid the trip. Like we put the hotel, and the hotels is like 4 days, 3 nights, or 5 days, 6 days, whatever, 5 nights, whatever, right? You're not getting in no Motel 6. We putting you in a 4 or 5-star hotel, right? If you're out of the country, sometimes even a 6-star. So we pay the taxes and everything on that. All you have to do is show up. Guess what? A year later, they didn't let it expire because we tell them, hey, you got a year to use this. We already paid this. That's coming out of our pocket. And guess what? A year later, they don't use it. And then they come to us and be like, hey, about that trip. No, dog. If that's where you want to go, I'm sorry, you're going to have to come out of pocket. But they didn't value it, because if you paid for that trip and you know that was $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, guess what? You know you're going to make, I don't care if you're sick, whatever, you're going to make that trip, right?
Yeah. I'm hella high water. I'm going on that trip.
But now, go ahead, King.
No, I was about to segue for a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, but now when we add a little expense, people do what they're supposed to do. So now, even if at the end of the program we feel in our heart, in our spirit, what how we feeling, we want to credit that person back because we know that they're gonna now go into the business part and blah blah blah. Guess what? That's at the end. We ain't gonna do it in the beginning because if you don't put anything behind it, you're gonna beat your feet. But when you are in a situation like Keem said, you're uncomfortable. And so maybe you are living paycheck to paycheck. So that $99 hurt.
Right.
But now you doing everything you need to do because you want to get out the program as quickly as you possibly can. You want to level up. You want to leverage your credit and stuff like that so you can go on to the next level. We notice those people are the ones that really truly do very well in the program, the ones that are uncomfortable.
Uh, Again, cheat code, y'all. Don't ever do yourself what you can pay somebody to do for you. If you're bootstrapping, let me say that again. Don't ever do yourself what you can pay somebody to do for you. Now, I'm not telling you to go and sell all your earthly possessions to get something done. No, if you bootstrapping, if you got to make every dollar count, I understand that. But this is what I'm talking about. I see it all the time. People say, "Well, I learned how to do credit myself. Like, why would I pay somebody to do that when I can do it on my own?" That's a broke mindset. That's a broken mindset. Not because I'm in this industry, just because I understand the value of my time. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master something, right? Cool. Let's say that you can master credit in 1,000 hours. Why go and try to master something in 1,000 hours? Better let's go back. Kyra, when you was nursing, how much did you make per hour?
Um,
Just in Killeen, not in Austin, just in Killeen.
okay. 25.
So you made $25 an hour. So in 1,000 hours, you would have made $25,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you spend $25,000 when you can just take, let's say, 5% of that, or let's say you can take $1,000, right, and you can learn credit from us. You can learn. We're gonna teach you the game, this, that, and the third. $1,000 to knock this out. You just saved yourself $24,000. We don't measure our time like that. Your time is your freedom. You know how many hours, how much money that we put into learning the craft. Credit is a craft. It's a game for sure. But what we do is a craft. We put a lot of time in it. I'm talking about uh what going to sleep and you waking up with the letter K on your face because you fell asleep on your laptop. I'm talking about like your pillow your pillow is the FCRA books. Like we went through that. We really went through that. So why would you spend all of this time, all of this effort in learning this, essentially spending $25,000 when you can just pay 1,000? A person that's rich, a person that is wealthy, a person that's living a life that you want to live, they'll never tell you that. Was like, nah, you can just go learn it on your own. You're gonna sit here and spend a year or 2 years to learn this when you can have somebody, you can get a shortcut and somebody can teach you in 6 to 8 months. You true.
Right. Or you can like the shortcut is while they doing that, you spending the time to focus on what you truly passionate about, how you can impact somebody else's life. So whatever it is, while they doing what they doing, you're doing what you need to do to prepare yourself. All right, when this comes together, hey, I'm out there.
Yes. I'm not with that. Sometimes you gotta think lazily, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, how can I free up more time? How can I how can I save money? How can I save time? That's the most valuable resource. That's all that you have. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, if there was nobody on earth except you, what does money mean? Nothing, right? Because there's nobody here. You can't do business with nobody. You can't do commerce with nobody. So money doesn't matter. But your time still matters. What matters the most is people. Because if you're the only person on earth, you probably won't want to be here. Why? Because there's nobody else. So even if you feel like you one deep, even if you feel like you hate people, I hate humans, whatever, life does not matter without other people. So that's not what's most important in life is money. It's actually the people. So how can I free up time to spend it with the people that I enjoy the most? My children, my family, my friends, or you know what I'm saying, going traveling and experiencing other cultures. We chasing the wrong thing. We chasing money out here when we should be chasing time, freedom.
Mm, mm. Mm.
Now I'm gonna pass. I'm about to pass the collection plate around. Y'all go ahead.
All right, so now I need to hit y'all with this business credit. If you are an entrepreneur out here, you are a hustler, a business owner, whatever you want to call yourself, and you do not have business credit, guys, you are doing yourself a dissatisfaction.
Major.
Major. Why? Because you are utilizing your, if you don't have that, that means that you're using your own funds, right? So you probably maxing out credit cards just to get your business, keep it afloat or anything in the beginning, right? You shouldn't be doing that. You should have a business credit card. It should be standing on its own. With business credit, I don't think people realize that it's its own profile. In order to have business credit, guys, you can't just have a DBA. You actually have to have an LLC or S corp, C corp. I'm gonna say in this case, a S corp or a LLC. So if you ain't got none of those, then right now, what you all you doing is doing business as, right? That's all you're doing. You're doing business, but you're not truly a business. So you already doing yourself a dissatisfaction there because you're not even able to utilize the tax benefits out there. You're not able to get all these write-offs and things like that, so you can level up by doing that. But by having an LLC or S corp, you build it up so that it can hold its own weight. Then when you have these business credit cards and things like that, that's all on the business side, right? So even if you have to max that bad boy out, guess what? That's doing nothing for your personal. Nothing. Is not harming you. Even if you max it out, guess what? Business lenders out there will still give you more. Why? Because they realize and they know that having a business is expensive in the beginning, right? So they expect you to max that out. But as long as you're paying them bills on time, you still can utilize and get more. And you should be using that to scale. Now, if you have business credit and you know you're trying to hit seven figures and you know you need 3 employees because everybody needs to make like do 20 or whatever it is, service of a product, maybe they need to all sell 20 so that you could be there, right? Well, if you have business credit, all right, you're able to pay them till y'all get to that point. And you don't have to worry about that coming out of pocket, and you don't have to worry about robbing, what is it? Yeah, Peter to pay Paul. Like you ain't got to do any of that. All that's on the business side. Also, with the business, there's so many more benefits behind it. Meaning, let me go get a vehicle or five if I want to have a fleet company, and it's all just solely on that business, right? So if that business go under, guess what? My personal stuff stays to me. The only thing that they can go after is that business, whatever's under that business. Why aren't you doing it? Why are you risking losing everything by not having a separation between the two? Why are you making it where somebody can go into your location, slip and fall, and come after you? And maybe that insurance that you have didn't cover it. So now they're coming after your personal assets. Guess what? If you have built up your business where it can hold its own, all they can come after is that business, right? Everything that's within the business, nothing that has to do with your personal. So you still have your home, you still have your vehicle that you have on the personal side and things of that nature. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you thinking long term? We all know how people are. Everybody want a dollar out here in these streets. What are we doing?
Whatever you want, go to the source. That's what I'm saying. Me and Kyra was having a conversation about my loctician, right? My loctician, I feel like she's like the best at what she does. Not only she's good at styles, but she's good at products, and she's good at like just the energy. That's why she's the best. You might know somebody to do better styles. You may know somebody to do better products, but when it comes to everything, she's the best. So, and I was telling her when she was doing my hair, I was like, hey, so yo, you need to do a course. You're talking about retiring in the next 2-3 years. It's like, man, you need to create you a course and shit. Like, I don't like talking to people. And I'm just like, man, it's so much money that you're leaving on the table. You literally could be having somebody stand right here beside you and teaching them how to do locks like you. You have years in the game, and it's somebody that's just starting out. If you tell them like, hey, you can pay me $400 and you can shadow me for X amount of time, people are going to pay for that. Why? Especially somebody like me, because I want to jump to the line. So instead of going to YouTube University and watching hours and hours of videos and not getting nowhere, I can learn from somebody that's already doing it and doing it well. That's the game. If you want business credit or you want business funding, go to people that already have it. Pull up on Credit Cleanse. Go to these little groups and workshops and these little meetups that people are already doing that. That's how you get it. You're not going to get it at home. And what's crazy is I feel like I personally fell into that. I'm like, man, I was just at home all the time. I'm not out and about being productive enough. I just got swamped in, and it's okay. And I'm just being transparent because people come to me for answers, but I got so bogged down in my mind and what I had going on. It's like I'm not operating in the principles. So I got to go out and about. I'm moving around, and that's part of the reason why. Right now, I'm still in San Antonio at one of one of our favorite hotels. It's like, yo, I got to be out and about in these streets. This is not the. I'm not going to wait for these ideal circumstances. I'm in the hallway right now. You know what I'm saying? Still getting it in. I'm teaching. There's people walking by like, what is he doing? I'm giving this sauce, sir. But yo, you have to go get it and come back with it. We feel like honestly, where we at, the mindset is limited, and we just have to go. We got to venture out. We have to travel across the country to find the people that we want to network with. Or you think that we're about to allow the distance to be an issue? Nah. So how if we can't go there all the time, what can we do? We need to pay to be in some of these rooms. We're gonna do some Zooms. We're gonna do some Skypes. We're gonna pay to get on some calls. We need that energy. We need that energy so we can continue to grow for our people. I'm just saying.
All right, guys. I know a lot of y'all might be like, all right, this is me. But main thing is please make an actionable plan of where you're trying to go. Let's make this year the year that you accomplish that goal. And even if you don't accomplish it, you like right underneath it.
Real talk. Yeah. And stop waiting for your goals and your dreams to come to you. You have to go to them. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the bigger the goal, the more uncomfortable it should be to get it. Like for real, for real. The more
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable, like just like within yourself, like, ooh, man, it make me that's scary. Like you ever had a dream so big or a goal so big it's scary? Like, oof, I don't even, oh my gosh. It can be a number. You could be like, I just want to make an extra 10,000 this year. And then you'll get on the phone with us and we're like, nah, you need to make 100K. And you're like, man, hold on. What? I don't even know nobody that makes 100K or $1 million, whatever it is. Like that's the type of people that you need around, need to be around. So that case, even if you fail, you still succeed.
Mm-hmm. Uh, right before, go ahead and if y'all have questions of anything when it comes to the personal business, whatever, please put them in the chat. But I want to say a real quick thing.
Oh, I'm about to coin that phrase. Fail so big that you still succeed. That's crazy.
Like so we had one of our a person that just started the business credit side, like coaching with us, right? And before they started, they had a consultation, and in that consultation, we gave them the price, and they was like, "Whew, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it." But they was just like, "Whew." And we was like, don't worry about it. This is an investment to building up your business, right? All right. So we just had our first coaching call with them. Guys, they times 10.
If we want to be technical, they're really 20. It was 20x.
Okay,
Within
20x.
within the first 30 minutes, they 10x their investment. And then after the call, they did something else we told them to. And right after the call, they was like, hey, I did what you said, that worked. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we 20x.
20x. So, yeah, what their initial investment was. But imagine if they just wouldn't have done it at all and they still been trying to do what they're seeing on YouTube and Google instead of having somebody say, hey, we looking at your profile right here. This is what you need to do. We taking all the guesswork out. This is what you need to do. Guys, 30 minutes within, and the coaching session is an hour when you're in business coaching. The first 30 minutes, they like, dang. All right, if I get any more good news, I'm shutting down for the day. Like,
So dig a little bit of transparency. Because of who they were and who they're affiliated with, it was only $2,000, right? And when we talked to them, the initial call before the actual coaching, it's like, oh, my goal is to get 40,000. And it's like, okay, yeah, now we're gonna actually push you to 100. You need to get 100. Like, all right, cool. They already at 40,000. We've actually superseded that. We've superseded your goal. We can be like, okay, cool. That's what you wanted. We can get you out the way on the first call. It's like, man, we got so much more to do. it's so much more to do. Like, yeah, we ain't even started yet. That's just it's crazy. But again, if that person was sitting around the people that they're always around, they wouldn't have got nowhere. Got around the right people, and it works like magic. It happens to us too. Because our coach be doing some stuff. It's like, man, that's crazy. I would have never thought to do that.
mm-hmm. And that's why we say, please, guys, don't let nobody stray. Like tell you to stray away from your passion, from your vision. It was put there for you, nobody else. So if you feel like, hey, I know I need to do this so I can get here, do it. So what if something happens and it just didn't work out the way it's planned? Okay. Well, now you know, all right, that ain't the way to go. Let me go this way.
All right, so I see we coming up on an hour and a half. I guess we
All
making some things. Spend more time on here.
All
Do we
right. If
have,
y'all are still with us though, go ahead and put a 3 in the comments. 33333. And if you know somebody out there that needs this information, please make sure that you get them in here. I don't care if we are close to the end, get them in here. Everybody sometimes need that little boost to get shit done. It is what it is. Yeah, I said it. Get stuff done.
yeah, big facts.
All right, so we're gonna go back up there, answer any questions that y'all have. So yeah, let me see. Boo, boo, boo. Okay, this is another one. I started on my plan and joined. Now it's go mode. Slowly but surely, I'm going to buy this house. Yes, I want all the knowledge, the questions to ask, and all, but we're going through the real estate company we've been renting from 5 years. You think it's easier? Um, Depends.
Uh,
I'm going to say it depends. I still would want you to reach out to other companies
I was about to say that. Yeah, it might be easier, but I don't mean that it's best. Yeah, find the best. Find the people that are um,
for you.
facts. Honestly, find somebody that's educating you, somebody that's going to tell you what you're getting into, not what you want to hear, but telling you what it is. And if you're in Colleen, I always tell people to go to Line Mortgage. Why? Because they're going to educate you. Even if you don't want to purchase from them, you can still go to the seminars and learn more about home buying and real estate than you would have doing anything else.
All right. So is the light stream hack for business or personal loans? All right. So if you are one of those that follow Credit Cleanse and we leave credit tips on there, hacks, tricks, all the good stuff so that you can be winning in the streets. Lightstream is actual it's a personal. It's personal loan. I put it on there. I said if you are at your FICO score for TransUnion is 710 or higher, then this go to them, get a loan from them, start that business. What I'm saying is not to just take out a loan just to go parlay in Miami or wherever and go to Vegas. No, you can actually go here and the interest rate is not that high, guys. It's like really, really low and it's a really good loan. And they're very flexible when it comes to the payments and stuff. So I was saying go to them if you have a 710 FICO score with TransUnion or higher. Get that personal loan, so 30,000, 50,000, whatever. Take that, Do something with it that's going to give you a return on your investment so you're able to pay that loan off and you were still profiting. You can use it for anything. Let's say you found a property for 20,000 that you only needed to have like 20,000, or you found a property that needs to be fixed and it's 20,000, they give you 30,000. All right, you can use that when you fix it up and flip it. You should be bringing in more than that, right? So now you can pay them off, and you still made a profit, and it never was any of your own money. That's the purpose behind it. Or if you're starting a business, you know this is something that's gonna make you 5 times what you put in, that you took out or whatever, or 2 times that. All right. Now that's your wiggle room to start that business instead of saying, I'm gonna start next year. I'm gonna start the year after that. I'm gonna wait until I got all this into the road. No, go. Let's do it. So that's what Lightstream is. What was the next one?
I guess we're gonna level it up because I see a lot of spam in the comments.
Yeah, and I see
And
it. One
yeah,
of us blocked. All right. Um, I think this is a question on here. I got the checklist. I need to change my sole proprietor to a LLC. Can I? Yes. If what you mean is that you have it as the DBA right now, just doing business as.
hold on. Wait a minute. Just from this, you have so many questions. You need to go ahead and book a call. Go ahead and reach out and book a call so we can put you a plan together because I can see that you got it on your mind.
Mm.
Um, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
But as far as can you change your sole proprietor to a DBA to a LLC? Yes, you can. What you would have to do is when you go to try to do it as an LLC, you do want to make sure that name is available, because just because you are using it as a DBA does not mean that somebody else that wants to form it as an LLC can not take that name. They still are able to get that name, and now that mark that kind of puts you to the side because you're just doing business as their business.
You know what's crazy? I read the whole thing. She said I scratched off other stuff already. I'm sure going step by step, slowly, because I'm PRN. People in the same business don't want to lace you with how they started. So thank you for any information. You feel like it's a lot, but honestly, this is something that you can knock out in a week. Even being PRN, and I know what PRN is. PRN is because I don't been around Kyra enough. I know PRN means as needed, and it don't make sense. I'm like, I'm even a good acronym. Like, well, what does this stand for? It means as needed. But what's the P to R and the E? But not seriously, you definitely need to get on a call so we can do one of these strategy sessions and we can, you know what I'm saying, put this together step by step by step.
Right. And not just generalize it, actually be where it's fit for you. But as far as everything goes, like, guys, we did a 15-day challenge in November.
Yeah.
In November, and
No, that wasn't November.
yes, it was October or November, one of them. October, maybe.
You want to bet?
No, but
Okay.
we did a 15-day
This was
challenge.
September, October.
And by the end of the 15-day challenge, we had people coming out with 60, 80,000, 100,000 worth of business credit. So it can be done when you put your mind to it and you say, okay, today I'm going to do this step, this step, this step. And the next day I'm going to do this step, this step, this step. It can be done.
Facts. Speaking of, our group goal for the amount of people we had was like what 200, 300,000.
300K.
Yeah, 300K, and we got that. We had got it like in like a week or two. We got 300,000 of the bank's money. Out here killing it. Oh, and some people made some business contact. You know what I'm saying? Got more business for their particular business. Like, hey, it was beautiful. And yes, we are gonna be doing another one. We just talked about it today.
All right. You see any other questions on there?
Brittany Lane, I can tell she be listening to I don't know if you got it from where I got it from. Just can't be swimming with them eagles if you're too busy clucking around them chickens. Hey, Slim Thug, that Joel Osteen. Got to count these blessings. Uh, no. Hey, Miss Lisa Michelle, I appreciate you because you've been engaged like the whole time. Like I'm seeing your name pop up for comments and reactions. Appreciate that.
Yes, yes. Any question, guys? Any questions at all while y'all have us here? No, we just gave it to y'all basically straight today. No chaser.
Straight no chase. Gotta let it burn a little bit. But if y'all,
September. Okay.
but yeah, if y'all don't have any questions, we are going to get up off of here. We do appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Sharing and tagging, showing us love.
Yes, if you know you want to start on your business credit journey, we definitely just left the link on there. It's still $1 to get the business credit checklist. This is going to tell you everything you need to have before you start building business credit. You have to have your business built strategically. It can't just be thrown together. You got an LLC going on about your way. Your personal address is on there, stuff like that. Like get this business credit checklist and go item by item to make sure your business is set to where when you start your business credit journey, you're not getting denials, you're getting approvals.
Big facts.
Toon, toon, toon.
Or you know what? I've always been the person that will pay to jump ahead. Remember, we used to go to the club when we was like 19, and I'll pay that $20 to park in the front.
Yes.
Real talk. Hey, I value my time, baby. Value my time.
And pay whatever extra it is to get the skip the line.
Yeah, skip the line. Oh yeah, yeah. We have a question.
Okay. Is it better to do a 1-800 number or local number? That is really dependent on you.
Nice.
I would say if you know that you want your company to eventually be like nationwide, get an 800 number as well as a local number. It's
Yes.
pros and cons to both. Like if you have a local number, when you're calling other people, or if they're calling you, they're more willing to call you because they're okay. I see this number. I know it's my area code or it's a local number. It's not a bill collector. I'm gonna answer it. Versus if you have an 800 number and that person may not know that that's your number, they might not answer it because they feel like it's probably a bill collector or anything. But at the same time, having the 800 number to vendors and lenders, it makes it look like your business is bigger than what it may be.
So what it all boils down to, if you know that you're going to be doing a lot of business with other businesses, then you probably want to get the 800 number so you appear bigger. But if you're going to be dealing with everyday people, you're going to be calling them. Get the local number because I see 800 number. I probably ain't gonna answer. I ain't gonna lie. But if I see a number with my area code, I'm like, man, who is this calling me from this area? I'm gonna answer.
Facts. So it's just like, what are you doing? If you know that you don't want your business to grow and be nationwide or outside of the area, you might as well just get the local number. But if you know you want to reach other states, other areas or whatever, then get the 800 number as well. We have both. The reason being is because we're not only here in Killeen and Harker Heights, Central Texas, guys. We are actually in 32 different states now. We have clients that are in 32 out of the 50 states right now, and we're trying to get all 50. But that was our goal, to be the number one credit education company. So again.
Okay. I see y'all got that. Y'all went and got the download already. Whoop whoop.
Yes, take that and utilize it, guys. We see a lot of people get the checklist and y'all don't do anything with it. It sits in your inbox. I'm gonna say if you already got the checklist, save it to your Google Drive. After 7 days, you cannot go back to that link. It'll like cancel out. So as soon as you get it, take that checklist and put it in your Google Drive so it's there for you.
Nice. And honestly, I'm just throwing this out there. This is the last week that it's going to be $1. It's the minimum is going to be 27, which is still worth it. But still, again, we understand in value. I want you to use it. It's not about the money. At the end of the day, it's not. But I want you to be uncomfortable enough to where you start actually using stuff. Because if it don't make you uncomfortable, then you ain't gonna do nothing with it. That's just real. How many people I gave that course to, the DIY course, and I can see when the last time you logged in, hardly anybody used it.
Yes, that's true. And I'm gonna say for all of y'all that do have the checklist, be looking for an email coming soon. It's gonna be a little extra sauce in there, but it's a video to help you to get where you need to be. Are you gonna have that access to that video forever? No, but it's gonna help you get to where you need to be. So definitely get that extra sauce. So, like I say, anybody, I don't care if it was today, yesterday, anybody from the time we put it out to now, purchase the checklist. You're going to be getting the extra sauce to help you because there is questions that come about with it. So, we're going to take that question out. It's going to be answered.
All right, all right.
All righty, guys. Any other questions? If not, we will let y'all go. I'll take this spot. All right, guys. Keem, anything you want to say before we get off?
No, just that I appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Without y'all, there is no us. And that's for sure.
None, none, none.
All right, family. I'm your bro Keem,
And I'm your girl, Kyra.
and we are Credit Cleanse.
Yes, yes.